Welcome back to Game of Theories, where I introduce theories of management, administration, and leadership. This is episode 40. Today, we'll explore organizational commitment. Since the 1960s, organizational commitment has gained popularity in the fields of management and organizational behavior. Organizational commitment is one of the most extensively researched constructs in organizational study. It is an employee's sense of attachment and loyalty to the organization they work for. Organizational commitment is measured by looking at employees' attitudes and intentions, which are seen as precursors to their behavior. When employees' goals align with those of the organization, they are considered committed. Organizational commitment is evident when employees are willing to put effort into their work and maintain their connection with the organization. Organizational commitment plays a crucial role in shaping other workplace attitudes and behaviors. It predicts outcomes such as extra role performance, turnover, employee absenteeism, and organizational performance. Since the conceptualization of organizational commitment in the 1960s, organizational scholars have been refining the construct and exploring the causes and effects. Over time, three main approaches have emerged for defining and measuring organizational commitment: the calculative approach, the attitudinal approach, and the multidimensional approach. Let's look at each of those approaches in more detail. The calculative approach to organizational commitment is based on the idea of side bets introduced by Howard Becker in the 1960s. In this approach, people accumulate investments that hold value for them within the organization. Those investments can be economic, social, and other factors that would be lost or considered worthless if they were to leave the organization. To better understand this concept, think of a card game where two players make a side bet on whose hand has the highest spade. Similarly, in the workplace, people build investments over time, such as income, status, seniority, friendships, and knowledge of how things work in an organization. Those investments can create an attachment or commitment to the organization. The fear of losing those investments, combined with a perceived lack of alternatives to replace or compensate for them, leads people to stay committed to the organization. Let's say you have invested many years in gaining expertise and building relationships within your organization. You learn about the organization's internal processes, customer preferences, and industry trends. You gain access to specific information and resources, which provide you with a competitive advantage. You have also achieved a high level of seniority and enjoy a comfortable salary. In this case, you may calculate that leaving the organization would mean giving up those investments, such as losing your status, privileged access to certain information and resources, and financial stability. As a result, you make calculations regarding the costs and benefits in order to decide whether to stay with or leave the organization. You decide to stay with the organization because the value of your accumulated investment outweighs the potential benefits of leaving. In the late 1960s and 70s, measures of organizational commitment were developed to reflect this calculative approach. Employees were asked about their likelihood of leaving organization based on different levels of incentives like pay, status, responsibility, job autonomy, and promotion opportunities. By considering those factors, we can evaluate how committed employees are to organizations. The second approach to organizational commitment, also known as organizational behavior or psychological approach, views commitment as being based on attitudes and emotions. According to this approach, employees feel committed to the organization because they identify with its values and goals. Specifically, commitment in this approach has three dimensions: a desire to remain a member of the organization, belief in and acceptance of the organization's values and goals, and willingness to exert effort on behalf of the organization. This type of commitment is often referred to as affective commitment or value commitment. One significant contribution of the attitudinal approach is the development of a widely used measure of organizational commitment called the Organizational Commitment Questionnaire. The questionnaire has 15 survey items. A shorter version has 9 survey items. Some studies have questioned discriminant validity of this measure. Discriminant validity is used in research to evaluate whether a construct measurement is distinct and unique from other related constructs. It helps determine whether a measure is truly capturing the specific construct it intends to measure rather than overlapping with or being influenced by other constructs. In the context of organizational commitment, discriminant validity suggests whether the measure of organizational commitment is distinct from other related attitudes or constructs, such as job satisfaction or job involvement. Some researchers pointed out that the measure of organizational commitment shows high correlations with the constructs of job satisfaction or job involvement, suggesting a lack of discriminant validity. Some studies have questioned discriminant validity of this measure. Discriminant validity is used in research to evaluate whether a construct measurement is distinct and unique from other related constructs. It helps determine whether a measure is truly capturing the specific construct it intends to measure rather than overlapping with or being influenced by other constructs. In the context of organizational commitment, discriminant validity suggests whether the measure of organizational commitment is distinct from other related attitudes or constructs, such as job satisfaction or job involvement. Some researchers pointed out that the measure of organizational commitment shows high correlations with the constructs of job satisfaction or job involvement, suggesting a lack of discriminant validity. Moreover, in the mid-1980s, researchers criticized that 2 dimensions in the organizational commitment questionnaire, which are the strong desire to remain a member of the organization and the willingness to exert significant effort for the organization, overlapped with intentions related to outcomes like withdrawal and performance. In response to this criticism, researchers have taken 2 approaches. First, they have leaned towards using the line item version of the questionnaire more frequently because the survey items related to withdrawal and performance are among the 6 problematic survey items that are negatively worded. Second, a new trend has emerged in defining and measuring organizational commitment, addressing the shortcomings of the previous approach. In 1984, scholars John Mayer and Natalie Allen proposed a 2-dimensional measure of organizational commitment. This approach builds on the previous perspectives of Howard Becker's side-bet calculative approach and the attitudinal approach. Meyer and Allen's 2 dimensions are affective commitment and continuous commitment. Later in 1991, they added a 3rd dimension called normative commitment. Affective commitment means positive emotions and a sense of identification, attachment, and involvement with the work organization. It captures employees' genuine passion and connection to their organization. For example, you feel a deep sense of identification, attachment, and involvement with your organization's mission. You genuinely believe in the importance of your work and are passionate about making a positive impact. You actively participate in organizational events, volunteer for additional projects, and proudly identify yourself as a member of the organization. Your positive emotions and strong connection to your organization reflect your affective commitment. Continuous commitment, on the other hand, is driven by the perceived cost associated with leaving the organization. Employees with high continuous commitment may feel attached to the organization because of the investments made or limited attractive alternatives. Let's consider an employee named Adam who has been working at a manufacturing company for several years. Over time, Adam has made significant investment in the organization, such as acquiring specialized skills and knowledge relevant to the company's operations, building a professional network within the industry, and developing a reputation for expertise. While Adam may not feel a strong emotional attachment to his organization, he has a high level of continuous commitment. This is because leaving the company may result in the loss of those valuable investments, and there are not many attractive alternatives in terms of job opportunities. The third dimension, normative commitment, focuses on employees' feelings of obligation to stay with the organization, often influenced by social norms and expectations. For example, Emily works as a school administrator in a public school. She deeply values the importance of education and feels a strong sense of duty towards her students and the community. Emily believes that it is her responsibility to create a positive learning environment, support the professional growth of her teachers, and provide high-quality instruction for all students. Emily's normative commitment is rooted in the societal expectations and professional obligations associated with her role in education. She feels a sense of obligation to remain with the school and make a meaningful impact on the lives of her students and teachers. Again, there are concerns about discriminant validity of normative commitment scale as it shows a high correlation with the affective dimension of organizational commitment. This raises questions about whether normative commitment truly represents a distinct aspect of commitment. Further research is needed to address those concerns, improve the validity and reliability of the construct, and refine our understanding of organizational commitment. Thanks for watching this video on organizational commitment. If you are interested in learning more about theories of management, administration, and leadership, be sure to tune in into my future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you want to know more about how to build a theoretical framework for your research, check out my book titled Demystify Theories, a workbook for developing theoretical frameworks of educational leadership research. The link of the book is in the description below.